G'day, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to make a dust cover for our motor, for the old brush motors. Just to keep dirt and stones and things out of the back. It'll work on, you know, your open end bell type like this, or your sealed 540 can. It'll work on both. So what we're going to use is, you've probably got some laying around at home, just some open cell foam. They use this for packaging in the bottom, like electronic components and things, quite often in the bottom of the box. Other than that, you can buy it on eBay or whatever. You just need to specify open cell foam, so air goes through it, basically. And you can get in whatever colours you want, things like that. And glue, I'm going to use Selleys Quick Grip, or what's left of it. I'm not sure if that's available in all countries, but find something you can use on open cell foam. Now, I tried a couple of glues. I've got the Quick Grip on here. Leaves quite a nice faint line. It's not too bad. Ordinary CA glue that we use for tyres and things in RC. It kind of deforms the edge there and whatever. And it takes ages to dry. But it's probably equally as strong. So you've got a couple of options there. Alrighty, so a couple of things you might need is toilet paper tubes. So go and eat a lot of chili and run out your toilet paper. Anyway, so we'll get this one out of the way and we'll get into it. Alright, so what we're going to do is basically wrap our foam around and glue it. But instead of getting glue all over the motor, we'll get rid of that out of the way and we'll use our toilet tube. So that looks, it's pretty rough edge, you know, on the edge there, but whatever, it'll be fine. So I'm just going to run that around reasonably tight because the toilet roll tube is a little bit wider than the motor. And if that stays where it should, I'm just going to cut that through the middle there, cutting both of them, and the ends will line up. Didn't line up the best. I mean, I didn't cut it real straight, but yeah, once it goes around the motor, actually we'll use the motor, that'll look better. It'll line up reasonably well. Alrighty, so I'll get rid of our scrap out the way. Alrighty, so we'll grab this one, run that around there. Beautiful. So what we'll do, we'll get some glue. Now this is where it's going to get messy. You want to probably want to wear gloves or something. Put a nice layer right on each end of it. And a new tube of glue might have been nice instead of an old one. Probably put a bit too much on there. So it's going to be a little bit untidy, but whatever. And we'll leave that for a couple of minutes. This stuff works good if you let it dry a little bit before you bring it together. Anyway, in that time, grab some tape and just pull off a few bits of tape, because what I'll do is bring the ends together and tape the foam. That'll be quite fine. Alrighty, so it's been a couple of minutes. Bring these around and hopefully it'll work nicely. But just, yeah, bring it together and just pinch it together. Just put some tape across it, that'll do. Stop it opening up like it is there. What I might do is just throw this piece over the outside. Maybe give that a bit of tape just to keep it firm on there. Come back in an hour or so, see how it looks. Alright, so it's been about an hour. We'll have a look at it. Now, of course, this glue, you know, is better if it's left overnight to dry, but we haven't got all night. So we'll just have a bit of a look. Naturally, we'll have to be pretty careful with it until it's totally cured. As you can see there, I pushed it into that gap a little bit too hard. Just try and hold the edges down when you pull the tape up so it doesn't pull the glue off. So it's far from perfect, but you know, there's an idea. So I'll just slip the ruler under there and hopefully it's not stuck to the toilet roll too badly. Another option would have been to put tape along the bottom with the sticky side up, I guess, but you know, you think of these things later. You might be right there, I think. And we can slip that off. So we've got our round tube. Still needs more drying time, but whatever. So that'll slip on there. Naturally we'll use a cable tie to hold it on. So now we need a bottom on it, or an end. So I'll pick the better end of the two. Pick that end. Now one thing you can do, I started doing this earlier, make a template. Basically make a hole in a piece of cardboard just for the bearing housing there. And slip it on and then run a pen around the outside, or just cut around the outside, whatever you want to do there, just to make a template. Now, because our toilet roll holder was a little bit bigger, we might have to cut a little bit outside the template line, which is kind of silly, but whatever. So we've got our other piece of foam here. Very good. So what I'll do is I'll just cut around and, you know, maybe go a couple of millimeters outside the line, outside the edge, I mean. Doesn't have to be perfect. Naturally, the rounder the better. There we go, something like that. You can get more, you know, excited and cut it perfectly round if you like. Just trim up the edges a little bit. That'll do me. So what we'll do here is just get some tape and stretch it over the top. Something like that. Slip our foam over. There we go. Now you got two options there. You can just run a bead of glue around there if you want. Or what I'm going to do is run a bead of glue around the bottom and then put that in. And hopefully I can get it off. But what I'll do, I'll just run a bead of glue. If I can find some glue in the tube. There we go. I'll just run it just around the inside. Hopefully you can see that. I'm doing it all backhanded. Just like that. Now normally I let this stuff dry, put it on both sides and let it dry a little bit, but in this case I'll just stick it in. She'll be right. Grab your ruler or whatever you got, something kind of round so you can just push it down in there. Now the time you take, of course, you know, it's up to you if you want a perfect job or if you're only about keeping your motor clean. Doesn't need to look too pretty. So I'll just leave that for another hour or so, and then we come back and just trim the edge there and trim the other end so it's not so ugly. And stick it on the motor. Alrighty, so another hour's gone by. We can see how she looks. What I'll do first here, I'll just try to trim up the end so it looks reasonable. Something like that. Again, it can be as neat or as ugly as you want. Now, hopefully the glue hasn't stuck to the tape in there too much. So, since it hasn't totally cured, I'll pinch this when I pull it up and try and release it from the tape, if that works. I think it's pretty well stuck there. Yeah, she's stuck pretty good. But as you can see, if you're gentle with it, you can kind of pull the glue off the tape without tape coming with it. There we go. And there's our finished filter. Not the neatest out there, but I'm sure it'll do just fine. And I'll trim this up a little bit. Try and get it reasonably square. Something like that. Then we get our motor. So it doesn't matter which motor you got here. As you can see, the vents are pretty close. You know, it'll cover both of them. So I'll stick it on this one. And what I plan to do is, you know, just pull the wires over, and, you know, wherever you need the wires to go. Slip this over. And then bang a cable tie on it. Get it reasonably even there. And we're done. We've got our finished dust cover. Naturally, you put the seam at the bottom or something so you don't really see it. But yeah, like I say, you can make it as pretty or whatever as you want. Depends how long you want to spend on it. I know this video went for quite a long time. Anyway, so there's our cover. And yeah, hopefully the video was helpful and helps keep dust out of your motor. Yeah, if you're new here, subscribe, that'd be awesome. Leave a thumb up if you like the video. And catch you next time, hopefully with no dust.